नित्यानन्देश्वरसमारम्भां नित्यानन्देश्वरिमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्. I welcome you all with my love and respects. I welcome all the devotees, disciples, Samajis, Satsangis, IA volunteers, teamily, Sri Mahants, Tanidar Kotari, visitors, viewers, everyone sitting with us through Nityananda TV and two-way video conferencing, having Nayana Diksha. I welcome all of you with my love and respects. Today, as part of the concluding day of Rajarajeshwari Brahmotsavam, Devi Rajarajeshwari is gracing as 8 hands, Ashtabhuja, Alankara and Siddhapita. Let's receive her grace, then enter into the satsang. I'll continue to expand on Kenopanishad, introduction. The essence of Kenopanishad is asking, seeking the source of the whole. Understand? Seeking the source of you is essence of Isavasya Upanishad. Seeking the source of the whole is the essence of Kenopanishad. Seeking what happens after death is the source of, that's the essence of Kathopanishad. Each Upanishad, please understand, carefully you have to listen now. Each Upanishad gives a thought current, not answers. No. If you read Isavasya Upanishad, you are not going to have the answer for who am I. No. If you read Kenopanishad, you are not going to have the answer for what is the source of all this. No. If you read Kathopanishad, you are not going to have the answer for what happens after death. No. But if you contemplate, if you do manana, if you entertain, engage with the thought current, this Upanishad opens up in you, suggests in you, you will have answers. You will have experience. You will have experiential solutions. Listen carefully. If you entertain the thought current of Isavasya Upanishad, you will simply have solution for the problem of who am I? The identity crisis will just dissolve. The Pratyagatma Chaitanya Jakratam, the individual consciousness awakening, will simply happen in your system. And listen carefully, Upanishads are penned down in such a way, if you start entertaining them, start cherishing them, celebrating them, they open up experiences in you. But you can never make a shop out of them. Means you can't sell the ideas from Upanishads, because in no Upanishad, no conclusion will be given to you as do's and don'ts. Do this, don't do that. No. Vidhi Nisheda cannot be given. I am fortunate. I am born in a tradition where you can't make a franchisee. You can't make a franchisee. The franchisee religions, the Vedic tradition is so pure, it can only give thought currents. You enjoy, celebrate the thought currents, you will find solutions for your life. Every Tom, Dick and Harry questions Hinduism. Stupid fellows saying, oh, Hinduism is so weak, it can't spread because it doesn't say clear-cut do's and don'ts. No, I am telling you, this is the strength. We are not a religion to be spread. We are a religiousness which is the essence of all religions, which is spreading. Understand? Wherever religiousness is practiced, I tell you, it's from me, my tradition. We are the owners. We are the proprietors. It's from Hindu tradition. We don't give do's and don'ts. We give thought currents. Thought currents. The whole Isavasya Upanishad, you should go on cherishing it, thinking about it, contemplating on it. Do Vakyartha Sadas with it. More and more Vakyartha Sadas should happen. Listen carefully. When the thought currents are engaged, when you entertain with the thought currents, you grow a new method of cognizing, a new way of existing, the new way of perceiving, new way of experiencing. That is what I call Divya Sarira, a divine body. With that divine body, you perceive, cognize, respond, react, celebrate this whole universe. Each of the thought currents, when you entertain the thought current of Isavasya Upanishad, you will not have any do's and don'ts, but your identity crisis problem will be solved once for all. With this Kena Upanishad, if you entertain the thought current of Kena Upanishad, you will not be given an answer. Who created this world? Nobody is going to tell you in Hindu tradition, somebody woke up and created all this and then rested for few days and then again. No, you won't get any of these stories. No. If you go through the thought current of this Kena Upanishad, you will just know from where this whole thing happens and how you are related to that, how that is related to you, how the whole can exist and coexist in the space of completion. How this whole thing can exist and coexist in the space of completion. If you read Kathopanishad, you will get a thought current, you will develop a nervous system. Suddenly the fear about death will disappear and the mysteries of death will be revealed in front of you before, during, after. The whole thing you will simply know and you are ready and experientially liberated from fear of death and any powerlessness related to death. Kathopanishad is not going to tell you after you die who will come and take you, where they will take you, what will happen. No. No. It's only going to tell you to entertain certain thought current. With that, your whole being will become powerful and see through the death. Every time I speak about Upanishad, not only I feel I am just pouring the nectar is, I am also tasting that in my tongue. I tell you, I think because I celebrate speaking on Upanishads, I may be speaking on 108 Upanishads whole life. Because I am celebrating, the good news is I will be speaking forever. The bad news is that you will not get all the 108 Upanishads at any time sooner with my commentary. See, it's like a sitting with a good old friend and reminiscing all the old and golden days and talking about it. That's exactly the feeling I have the moment I sit with the Upanishad mantra. Even that word Upanishad. Oh God, I have so much to catch up with it. When you see a good old friend and start talking to him, how you feel? Oh, I have so much to catch up with him. That is exactly I feel when I sit just with the word Upanishad. Wow, I have so much to catch up with this guy. And I have so much to tell about him, speak about him. Each of the thought current is experiential. It's like a cooking. First add rice, then put a little salt, then put a little turmeric, then put a little tamarind juice. Same way, your pure analysis, is the rice, then Isavasya Upanishad, little salt, then Kena Upanishad, little turmeric, then Katha Upanishad, little tamarind juice, then comes Mahanarayana Upanishad, maybe cashews. So put all that. By the time you finish 10-12 Upanishads, you are the best turmeric rice or tamarind rice. Even you will celebrate your existence. The beauty of these Upanishads are precisely they can awaken the thought current and guide you to be powerless. Please listen, I am listen to this word. Guide you through all your powerlessness with the thought current. Means, I'll give you the example. You have so much of powerlessness about death. Questions, unknown, mystery, pain, unknown fear. Katha Upanishad, one Upanishad is enough. If you just catch the thought current, the Katha Upanishad is suggesting. You can just go through the whole powerlessness, win over the whole thing. Just win over the whole thing. It can sail you through all powerlessness and reach the shore of powerfulness and liberate you once for all. Mahadeva's breathing is Upanishads. His words are Agamas. His breathing is Upanishads. His words are Agamas. Every breath Mahadeva gave is one thought current he wants to produce in you. I never feel I am not capable when I start any project. Anything, this golden temple, casually I said one day, come on, let's make a golden temple for Shiva. I read a book where Rajaraja Cholan made a whole Tanjore temple covered with gold, because his guru is Guru Maha Sannidhanam of Tondamandala Adinam. There's a document in Tondamandala Adinam that Sannidhanam chose a girl who will be main queen of Rajaraja Cholan, whose son will be the successor. So he did all the marriage and rituals and everything, and then he ordered Rajarajan, you make a temple and gold coat it, cover it with the gold. So he made the temple and invited Sannidhanam to come and do all the prana pratishtha and all the rituals, and Karuvurar and the Sannidhanam also went and they did everything need to be done. Then after that Sannidhanam gave a command, please cover it with gold. Then Rajaraja Cholan accepted his command and did the same thing, covered the whole temple with gold. So when I read the story, I felt, oh God, then what happened to that whole gold now? Now only the stone temple is there. But there is solid evidence the whole temple was covered with gold, because when the gold sheet were drilled, that holes are there completely throughout the temple, throughout the tower. Thick gold sheet being drilled throughout the tower, that marks are there. So we have enough evidence. Once there was golden temple for Mahadeva. Now it may not be there. I said, all right, let's make one golden temple for Mahadeva with his grace. Casually only I started. I never feel something is not possible when I start a project. But when I am starting talking about the Upanishad, I don't feel it is not possible. I only feel, God, how long I am going to take? How long I am going to take? Because 108, I finished only one, which is shortest Upanishad. Actually, the whole Isavasya Upanishad, you can write it in one Indian postcard. 15 paise in those days. If you see the 15 paise postcard, in that you can finish writing the whole Isavasya Upanishad. About that one postcard only I am talking 1 year. 1 full year I spoke about the material which can be written in one postcard. And now it is more sutras. This Kena Upanishad. I don't know how long I am going to explain. The thought currents which Upanishads generate in you experientially liberate you. Experientially liberate you. Sit with this context and understand. Sit with this context and understand. Upanishads can't be eaten like a Rasagulla or Mysore Pak. Just take it and put it in the mouth, chew and goes. No. Upanishads have to be enjoyed like a sugar can. Ach. Ach. In between sitting and chatting, and then ach. It's a sugar can. It is not Mysore Pak or Rasagulla. You can't swallow it. There are 2 types of religious books. Some books where you can just swallow it. Some you have to sit and celebrate it. Chew it. Chew it. Chew it. Then remove the unnecessary things from your mouth and throw it. And then again, ach, next. And chew it. Only take the juice and then throw the unnecessary things. It's a thought current. You need to celebrate. Thought current. You need to enjoy. See, in the whole Inner Awakening program, I may be giving some 5 thought currents, major thought currents. Completion with yourself, completion with others, creating your reality, creating others' reality, and doing that through the sound and visualization, doing that with the signs of unclutching and silence. The first 4 steps you have to do. The next 2 steps I'll be doing. The whole thing is just 6 thought currents. But each Upanishad is a thought current. So, if you listen to all the whole Upanishad satsang, you will be having 108 thought currents, almost equivalent to attending 10 or, sorry, I don't know how many inner awakening, 108 by 6. Listening to the Upanishadic satsangs and imbibing is equivalent to attending 18 inner awakenings. But I don't know when I will finish all the 18 inner awakenings. So one Upanishad, 1 year, even then 108 years. I think I will not be able to go to some other subject. Even if I continuously finish, it is so juicy. Each thought current. Maybe I will have to decide to extend my life. A few more years. Just to do the Upanishad satsang. Already I told, none of my sannyasis can sit in the seat of Sannidhanam because your disciple, 3 more, 4 more generations will be only my Ilaya Sannidhanams. At least 3, 4 more generations are going to be only my Ilaya Sannidhanams. Each of these Upanishads and the thought currents, the way it transforms not just your psychology, the way it transforms your very biology, the very you, in your muscle memory and biomemory. So if I take even 1 year per Upanishad, so I have to live 145 years now to complete the 108 Upanishads. Each of these thought currents, when you entertain them, when you cherish them, when you celebrate them, your very biology changes. Understand? If you create suffering for yourself with your confusion, wrong analysis, depression, then you just picking up some of the do's and don'ts is enough, you will be free from your depression. But if it comes from your parents, the depression is from your mother, suffering is from your father, then do's and don'ts will not solve the issue. You will have to cherish the thought current of Upanishads. You will have to cherish the thought currents of Upanishads. Apyayandu mamankani vakprana chakshushrothramato balamindriyani cha sarvani. The moment I read out, even utter 2-3 lines in the Kathopanishad, I feel like choking. Oh God, don't read more because there is so much to explain. There is so much to explain. First of all, I have to explain the whole context. Only then. In Vedic tradition, examinations are not done by question-answer method. No. That is Macaulay's method. Clerk making. No. In Vedic tradition, it is all examinations are conducted based on the thought current you carry. Please understand. If you have to check somebody has mastered Nyaya, or Vaiseshika, or Yoga, or Purvamimamsa, or Uttaramimamsa, or Agama, the person will be made to speak in the presence of the Pandits who have mastered those thought currents. So they will see whether spontaneously he is able to express that thought current, then they will declare he passed. Not by any question answer. In the modern education, you can be a great Pandit of yoga philosophy, but you can't even bend your neck and touch your own belly. Forget about leg. You can be like that in modern day because it does not need to become your thought current. Just memorize. Yogaha chitta vritti nirodha. That is what is being done to our Indian kids in the modern day. Actually, for our Indian DNA, the memorizing is very easy. That is why in the modern education our kids excel. Not just in India, go to any country, any university, the toppers are Indians. Because it is too small for us. Our education was all about developing certain thought current. What is real education? The other day I was telling one of my Mahant, what is real education? If we are teaching the science of completion to our kids, we should be able to guarantee you can't get even one lie out of my Gurukul kids. If they are here studying the science of completion for 2-3 years, I can challenge. You can't get a lie out of them. That is what is education. Education is making them master a thought current, which becomes their lifestyle, which becomes the cognition style, which becomes their very being. That is the Indian examination method. People who have mastered the thought current will sit together and ask this person who is getting examined to speak for hours. For hours he will speak. For hours you cannot speak on a subject unless that became your very thought current, cognition system. The way you cognize. If somebody is able to make any one of my Gurukul kid tell a lie, the kid has failed. If you are not able to make my Gurukul kid tell a lie by providing anything, even if you play with their fear and greed to the extreme and you are not able to make them tell a lie, then they are educated, they are successful. National average in degree holders in US is 30%, but Indian Americans 70%. It's from Wall Street Journal. National average is 30, Indian Americans 70. See the gap. Because this education is too small for us. But that does not mean I am praising you fellows. It is like a one-liner I read in the Facebook. A fellow was talking to his friend saying, this lady is so inauspicious, unfortunate. All the bad words he was using against a lady, saying, this lady made her husband millionaire. The friend said, why are you cursing her and saying she is inauspicious? She made her husband millionaire. No. Before marriage he was a billionaire. Understand this one-liner? Yes, you guys have become millionaire. But from where? From billionaire. Listen. Yes, you have become millionaire. But from where? From billionaire to you become millionaire. This education is nothing for you. It means I am not saying go ahead, go on with this. No. I am saying come back to our examination method. The Vedic examination method, where we test the thought current of a person and certify. Where we test the thought current of the person and certify. So understand, change of thought current, transformation of thought current is success of education. Transformation of the thought current is the success of education. So today's subject for Vakyartha Sadas, transformation of thought current is success of education. Failure or success should be decided based on the transformation of thought current, not the memorizing the informations. It is about the transformation of thought current, not memorizing the informations. Clear? So, essence of today's satsang. Each Upanishad adds a thought current to you. Transformation of thought current is success. So with this, we'll move to the next meeting. Today I have a meeting with all the Mahans about Kumbh Mela. Kumbh Chalo! Get ready for Kumbh Mela. The plans have started and it's going to be, don't even compare if you have attended Allahabad and Nasik Kumbh Mela. Plan itself this time we have started 2 months ahead. And it's really going to be as I wanted this time. And we have started planning for you. You just plan for you to be dropped in Ujjaini. Just steal yourself and drop yourself in Ujjaini Kumbh camp. Do not listen to any of the thought currents you are having other than going. If you have any other thought current other than Kumbh Chalo, just kidnap yourself. You yourself kidnap yourself and come and drop yourself in the Kumbh Ghat, in the Nityananda Peedam tent. Because 70 initiations, only if you are Ragu, Maya, delusion, some Pilli, Sunyam, Evil, Devil, all of them are working on you, only then you should be stopped from this great possibility. Even if one person is not strong enough, just kidnap yourself and come and drop yourself in the Kumbh Ghat. Unless the devil is locking you inside a room with a chain, don't give any reason. If you have been kidnapped by devil, okay, nothing can be done. Otherwise, just kidnap yourself and come and drop yourself in the Kumbh Ghat. I have nothing more to add. I have nothing more to tell. I have nothing more to add. This is the first time I am telling, kidnap yourself from all your thought currents and just bring yourself and drop yourself in the Nityananda Peedam Kumbh tent. And you have only 4 more days, 29th. Till 29th only you have time to register. Please register immediately, because we will have to make all the arrangements. Even for Nityananda Home, I did not tell, kidnap yourself and come and drop yourself there. You are going to have multiple spiritual processes, powers, awakenings, experiences. I give you one small tip. It is going to be equivalent to 70 Nityananda Home process. That's all. I'll repeat once more. It is going to be equivalent to 70 Nityananda Home process. That's all. So plan for Kumbh Mela. Plan for kidnapping yourself by yourself. Come and drop yourself there. I bless you all. Let you all radiate. Let's all radiate with integrity, authenticity, responsibility, enriching, causing, living Shuddhadvaita Saivam, the eternal bliss, Nityananda. Thank you. Be blissful.